Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you for joining. Let's start with Radha Madhav. Just technical issues here. Jai Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunj Bihari. Jai Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunj Bihari. Jai Gopi Jana Vallabha, Jaya Giravardhari. Jai Gopi Jana Vallabha, Jaya Giravardhari. Shodhanandan Vraj Jana Ranjana, Shodhanandan Vraj Jana Ranjana, Yamuna Tiravanachari. Jai Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunja Bihari. Jai Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunja Bihari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Om Ajnanatirmisya Gyan Anjana Shalakya Chakshur Anmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthatam Yena Bhutale Swarupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuttapada Kamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatamitam Tam Sajivam Sadhvetam Savadutam Krishna Setam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shiva Shakhanvitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dena Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kant Radha Kant Namastute Tapta Kanchan Rangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sutadevi Pranmami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpato Brehescha Kirpa Sindhu Bevacha Paditana Pavnebhyo Vaishnavbhyo Namo 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 Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Śrīmate Bhaktivedanta Swami iti namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Parcharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschati Dishatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Chirivasdi Gaur Bhakt Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Mukham Kroti Vachalam Pangum Langyate Girim Yatkirpatam Hamandashi Gurundin Taranam Paramananda Madam Shirtaneshwaram Ariyam Tassat Narayam Namaskritya Naram Cheva Naruttamam Devim Saraswatim Yasam Tato Nastapreshu Abdureshu Nityam Bhagavad-Sevayā Bhagavati Uttam Shlokte Bhaktir Bhavati Nestaki. Okay, Hare Krishna everyone. So thank you for joining. Let's continue with chapter 10. And last time we talked about how everything was cooperating with the Yudhishthira Maharaj because he was a righteous king, his righteous ruler, and Krishna was leaving Hastinapur and everyone sad, even Dhritarashtra and his wife, they're both sad as well because everyone is sad, it's just sort of, it's catchy. although Gandhari had cursed him for all his dynasty to be destroyed, and that's a massive curse. Most of the time people just curse one person to die or something like that, or to become trees, or have something in the next life, have some kind of like inferior next life. But to curse someone's dynasty altogether, that's a massive curse to have. So we'll continue from there. Krishna leaving for Dwarka. Let's see if I can find. Okay, here we go. So verses 11 and 12. Satsangan mukt dushango hatum not sahate buddha krityamanam yasho yasya sakrad akarnya rochanam tasmi aniyasta diya partha sehedan viraham katham darshan sparsh samlap shayana san shayana bojani darshan sparsh samlap shayasana bojani. So satsangat, by the association of pure devotees, mukt duhu sangaha, freed from bad materialistic association, hatum, to give up, na utsahate, never attempts, buddha, one who has understood the Lord is a Buddha, krityamanam, glorifying, yashah, fame, yasya, whose sakrit, once only, akarnya, hearing only, rochanam, pleasing, tasmin, unto him, neyastadiha, one who has given his mind unto him, partha, the sons of Pritha, seheran, can tolerate, viraham, separation, katham, how, darshan, seeing face to face, sparsh, touching, samlap, conversing, shayan, sleeping, asana, sitting, bojanahi, dining together. So the intelligent who have understood the Supreme Lord in association with pure devotees and have become freed from bad materialistic association can never avoid hearing the glories of the Lord, even though they have heard them only once. How then could the Pandavas tolerate his separation? For they had been intimately associated with this person, seeing him face to face, touching him, conversing with him, and sleeping, sitting, and dining with him. Yeah, you find that when you go to a relative's house, say in India, and spend some, maybe just even a week with them, and when you're leaving, you feel so sad, they feel so sad, and that feeling lasts for a while, and then you have memories of when you were there. So like that, this is the most attractive personality, and he's the relative, and he has helped them so much, they owe him so much, and to have his separation, the soul, not just the body, the soul feels the separation from him. The living being's constitutional position is one of serving a superior. He is obliged to serve by force the dictates of illusory material energy in different phases of sense gratification. And in serving the senses, he is never tired. Even though he may be tired, the illusory energy perpetually forces him to do so without being satisfied. There is no end to such sense gratificatory business, and the conditioned soul becomes entangled in such servitude without hope of release. The release is only effected by association with pure devotees. By such association, one is gradually promoted to his transcendental consciousness. Thus, he can know that his eternal position is to render service unto the Lord, and not to the perverted senses and the capacity of lust, anger, desire it to lord it over, etc. Material society, friendship, and love are all different phases of lust. Home, country, family, society, wealth, and all sorts of corollaries are all causes of bondage in the material world, where the threefold miseries of life are concomitant factors. By associating with pure devotees and by hearing them submissively, attachment for material enjoyment becomes slackened, and attraction for hearing about the transcendental activities of the Lord becomes prominent. Once they will go on progressively without stoppage, like fire in gunpowder. It is said that Hari, the personality of Godhead, is so transcendently attractive that even those who are self-satisfied by self-realization are factually liberated from all material bondage, also become devotees of the Lord. So we have the four Kumars, we have Sukadev Goswami. Under the circumstances, it is easily understood that most must have been the position of the Pandavas. What must have been the position of the Pandavas, who were constant companions of the Lord? They couldn't even think of separation from Sri Krishna, since the attraction was more intense for them because of continuous personal contact. His remembrance by his form, his quality, name, fame, pastime, etc., is also attractive for the pure devotee. So much so that he forgets all forms, quality, name, fame, and activities of the mundane world. And due to his mature association with pure devotees, he is not out of contact with the Lord for a moment. So so Krishna's leaving, is causing a big vacuum in everyone's life, and there's a lot of emotion flying about. So this is 10, 11, and 12. So it's mentioned that those who have heard Krishna even once, their materially propensities are removed. What about the Pandavas who spend so much time with Krishna? We are meant to serve Krishna, but we're serving the wrong master. This is the diagnosis of our disease. We want a spark. If a spark touches gunpowder, it becomes explosive. We want a spark of Krishna consciousness to ignite our heart. It should be burning with fire of Krishna consciousness. So we need that spark. The dormant separation, the love, everything is already there. When devotees come together to glorify the Lord, there is a great potency there. It's collective effort, collective energy, collective devotion. So Sankirtan is very strong. Especially on festival days, the energy is different. You must have realized Radha Ashtami, what a blissful festival it becomes. The Lord is more accessible. So on festival days, the energy is different. The Lord is more accessible that day. He's happy. When you're singing the glories of Radha Rani, Krishna is so happy to hear about Radha. And when you sing about Krishna, Radharani is happy. So you can't go wrong. The Lord is more accessible. The environment, the effort, the prayers, the consciousness, everything is on a higher level. The whole, it might be a hired hall, but becomes a Maha Utsav, festival hall. It becomes a temple, with the chanting of the glories of Krishna coming collectively. So this is the beauty of association of devotees and doing bhakti together. Amazing. 13. Sarvetu nimisher akshayas tam anudrut chetasaha vikshanta sneha sampada vichalas tatra tatraha. So sarve all they animishihi, without twinkling of the eyes, akshihi, by the eye, tam anu, after him, drut chetasaha, melted heart, vikshanta, looking upon him, sneha sambadha, bound by pure affection, which luhu, began to move, tatra, here and there. So they did. So all their hearts are melting for him on the path of attraction. They looked at him without blinking their eyes, and they moved hither and thither in perplexity. Without blinking their eyes, they don't want to miss a split second of darshan of Krishna. Krishna is naturally attractive for all living beings because he is the chief eternal amongst all eternals. He alone is the maintainer of the many eternals. This is stated in the Katha Upanishad. And thus one can obtain permanent peace and prosperity by revival of one's eternal relation with him, now forgotten under the spell of Maya, the illusory energy of the Lord. So how many times we have been reminded of this fact, but we've still forgotten. Once this relation is slightly revived, the conditioned soul at once becomes freed from the illusion of material energy and becomes mad after the association of the Lord. This association is made possible not only by personal contact with the Lord, but also by association with the name, his fame, his form, and quality. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam trains the conditioned soul to this stage of perfection by a submissive hearing from the pure devotee, which is Srila Prabhupada. So this is 13. So it's mentioned that we are hearing the symptoms of devotees who are feeling separation from Krishna. Many people pose the question that if Krishna is all attractive, then why is everyone not attracted to him? So it's the potency of Maya. So she covers you, and when she covers you, you don't not experience Krishna's attractive nature. So there's a barrier between us and Krishna. It's not that Krishna is not most attractive, and it's not that we are not attracted to Krishna. He is 100% attractive, and we are 100% attracted to him. Well, what to do when there's a barrier in between? That's what's blocking our view. So one has to come out of the covering of material energy. One can only do that if one surrenders to the pure devotee and takes his association. There's the solution here given as well. This enhances our remembrance of Krishna. Srila Prabhupada says that this personal association is not only made possible by contact with the Lord, but by his name, fame, and qualities. Where do we find all these? These are all in the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. So by regular association with Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam means regular association with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So we keep taking association. Maya is very strong. It will keep trying. It will keep trying. But eventually, Maya will have to give up. When he sees that you're not going to give up, it will have to give up. Why will it give up? Well, Kartik month's coming. When Krishna sees our endeavor, he will give his mercy. So once Krishna gives his mercy, Maya has no chance. Nobody can stand in front of Krishna. When Krishna rakeke, nobody can do anything. Maya will have to move aside and let us be attractive to Krishna. So the more we hear and chant, greater will be the reviving factor and greater the attraction. That's the solution. So Maya is even weaker than us. This inferior energy, we the superior energy, but Maya is fooling us, and we should not be fooled. We should seek the spiritual intelligence of the pure devotees, and we should use our own spiritual intelligence. And then how can the Maya do anything? It has to move out the way. It will realize it's beaten and it will move. Nyarudan Utgalad Pasham Bashpam Utkantha Devaki Sute Niryati Agarano Badram Iti Syat Bandhav Istriya. So Nyarundam, checking with great difficulty, Udgalat, overflowing, Bashpam, tears, utkanthayat, because of great anxiety, Devki Sutta, unto the son of Devki, Niryati, having come out, Agarat, from the palace, not Apadram, in auspiciousness, iti thus syat, may happen, Bandhav, relative, Istriya, ladies. So the female relatives whose eyes were flooded with tears out of anxiety for Krishna came out of the palace. So everyone is is emotional right now. Came out of the palace. They could stop their tears only with great difficulty. They feared that tears would cause misfortune at the time of departure. So it's seen as inauspicious to cry when somebody is leaving. So they try to hold back the tears, but they keep flooding out. There were hundreds of ladies in the palace of Hastinapur. All of them were affectionate to Krishna. All of them were relatives also. When they saw that Krishna was going away from the palace for his native place, which was inevitable, he would have to go sooner or later, although Yudhishthira Maharaj managed to keep him for a while, they were very anxious for him. And as usual, tears began to roll down their cheeks. They thought at the same time that tears at that moment might be a cause of misfortune for Krishna. Therefore, they wanted to check them. This was very difficult for them because the tears could not be checked. Therefore, they smeared the tears in the eyes and their hearts throbbed. Therefore, ladies who were the wives and daughter-in-law of those who died in the battlefield never came in direct contact with Krishna. But all of them heard of him and his great activities, and thus they thought of him, talked of him, his name, fame, etc., and became affectionate also, like those who were in direct contact. Even these enemies, when they saw Krishna, they became affectionate towards him, and they went all back to Godhead at the time of death. Therefore, directly or indirectly, anyone who thinks of Krishna, talks of Krishna, or worships Krishna becomes attached to him. Because Krishna is absolute, there is no difference between his name, form, quality, etc. Our intimate relation with Krishna can be confidentially revived by our talking of, hearing of, or remembering him. It is done due to spiritual potency. So when we are making an effort to remember Krishna, Krishna also helps as well. And also it's mentioned that when we are talking about Krishna, we are hearing about Krishna, it's like we're in an amnesia state. It's like in the movies when somebody has lost their memory, then they take him back to the places where he had been before, and they introduce him to the people that he has known before he lost his memory, and slowly he starts his flashes are coming, and you can see in a flash, very dark, but signs of memory returning, because the familiarity is growing. So it's same Krishna. We know Krishna, but it's just that our memory is being disturbed, is illusioned, and the more we get in touch with Krishna, whether it's in his form of his name or quality, his pastimes especially, then the memory will be restored. Eventually, we'll start remembering, yes, we are a spirit soul, yes, we are part and parcel of Krishna, and it comes back eventually. Okay, so 14 is so it says that for the ladies, the attraction of Krishna is causing separation, it's coming out in tears, but their love is also stopping the tears because they don't want to cause auspiciousness. None of them came in direct contact with Krishna, so how they had developed love for him, we can also do the same. So even if you haven't been in touch directly with Krishna, we can still develop love for him. Now we should be feeling separation from Krishna. Where is Krishna? Where is Krishna? That should be our feeling. We can start by feeling separation from our service, because that is our relationship with Him through service. Separation from chanting our rounds. Our relationship is to glorify Him. Separation from being with the devotees. If you feel the opposite and feeling relieved to be away from this, then we are lacking spiritual devotion. So that's one way to check. So if we don't feel separation, we don't miss chanting our rounds, and we don't miss being in the presence of devotees where we can glorify Krishna and we can do bhakti, then there's lack of spiritual devotion, obviously. So that, but if you say, I'm not qualified to be with Krishna, how can I see Krishna? But I want to see Krishna. I have done nothing. It's by Srila Prabhupada's mercy this great fortune has been created. So when devotees ask Prabhupada that, what have we done to that, we are getting association, we are chanting, we're doing bhakti. Prabhupada said, you had not done anything. Okay, I have restored some mercy. I've given you through Krishna's mercy, I've given you some mercy that you are able to do this. It's like Lord Chaitanya, he's giving causeless mercy to everyone. Even the non-believers were getting it. So, like that, everyone they came in contact with, they're giving them mercy, and they become believers. So we haven't done anything. It's all causeless mercy from Srila Prabhupada and from his devotees and from Krishna himself. Okay, then we'll do 15 as well. Right. Mridanga Shankha Brayascha Veena Panam Ko Mukhaha Dunduru Anak Gantadya Nedu Dundu Bayas Tatha. So Mridang, sweet sounding drum, Shankha, conch shell, Breha, brass band, Kya and Veena, string band, Panav, a kind of flute, Gomukha, another flute, Dunduri, another drum, Anak, kettle, Ghanta is bell, Adyaha, others, Nedu sounded, Dundu Beha, other different types of drums, Tatha at that time. So when the Lord was departing from the palace of Hastinapur, different types of drums like the Mirdanga, Dol, Nagar, Dunduri, Bundubi, and flutes of different types, the Veena, Gomukh, and Beri all sounded together to show him honor. So when somebody comes, we have the paraphernalia, we have the band out to welcome them. Everybody's, stands to welcome them, shower them flowers, etc. Similarly, especially for God, when he's leaving Hastinapur to go back to his home in Dwarka, he's sent with a welcome, that type of welcome as well, or in his honor or glorification of him as he leaves. So when he comes, he gets honored. When he leaves, he gets honored as well. So great personalities, Krishna is leaving Hastinapur to head towards Dwarka. The residents are showing their love and honor Krishna by playing many different instruments. The holy name should be at the forefront. Tune doesn't matter so much. Different instruments create different moods. Yeah, they normally say, Prabhupada said that Mirdanga, Kartals, and harmonium is sufficient. But obviously we see in Kirtans there's so many other instruments being used. I personally don't have any issue with that. I think it sounds great, to mix it a little bit. But even simple instruments can please Krishna and glorify him. So thank you so much, and let's leave it here for today and discuss Krishna's living, his attraction, how he attracted everyone and got them into pools of separation. They all in tears, trying not to cry, Krishna, but he's the most attractive. And once you start getting attraction for him, that's it. Then he cannot stop. It becomes like you, even if you want to forget him, you can't forget him. It will just become so natural. And I think it's sort of like, probably, I don't know if it's a good example, but you sometimes see like this ice, when the river is melted of thick ice, if it's just broken or cracks at a very small point, and that crack can like just become bigger and bigger and bigger, you're just not stopping it, and the water stops flowing out of the crack, and that just like even increases the melting of the ice. So it's like our heart is like ice at the moment. We can just make a very small, crack of a melting, a small melting in the heart, and it can overflow with the love of Krishna. So like that, but at the moment it's like rock solid, and there's nothing getting in or out of that. It just needs to melt it with the spark of Krishna consciousness. You melt that ice in the spark of Krishna consciousness, and then it will overflow. Thank you. Okay, so we'll start with Pundikaksh Prabhu. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Yeah, it's again wonderful pastime. Whatever Krishna does is all attractive. Krishna name itself is all attractive. And whatever Krishna gives, or Krishna possesses is attractive, and whatever Krishna gives is also attractive. So he has created this attractive material world. Though we need to get detached from material world, but it is still attractive. I mean, all the resources provided by Krishna, when you see, I was having a discussion with one of the taxi driver, and he was saying Lord has given everything, all the resources have been provided. And if one is happy eating the fruits, vegetables, whatever Krishna give as a natural resource, that would be more sufficient than anything. So whatever Krishna does is very attractive. And sense gratification has really no end. But when the senses are to be engaged, that's why senses needs to be engaged in that part, that thing which is eternal. Like in one of the class I was listening, that we seek, everybody seek protection. We get protection from our parents, elders, everybody. But anyhow, they are also going to leave at one time, and that's why we need to put our faith, everything in that which is eternal, and that is Krishna. Krishna is eternal. So in that way, we can get our sense gratification also eternally happy. And Lord Krishna's pastimes are very illuminating. As Krishna says in Bhagavad-Gita, by listening to the pastimes, one can get liberated and come to his abode where they need not come back again. So, but these pastimes need to be heard only in the presence of devotees, because they have got that taste and they can give us that taste again. And Sankirtan Prabhu was saying something in the last Sunday after the class, that there is a Baba in Vrindavan, and he chant 1 lakh names in a day, and he's a disciple of Srila Prabhupada, and he doesn't have any books. He is having only 6 audio classes of Srila Prabhupada, and he listened to those 6 audio classes every day. That's it. He don't read any other books, and he said that whatever actually we need, Prabhupada has put everything in these 6 classes. So we may try to read so many books, so many things, but again, Srila Prabhupada has condensed many things in. We can see like even a single purport of Srila Prabhupada gives us so much of bhakti. So when you hear such kind of pastimes from a devotee like Srila Prabhupada, then definitely they will also develop that active devotional service in our heart. And we can get that association of Krishna, though he is not present with us. But in the sense, as a Paramatma is already there guiding from inside. But again, we can develop that love by chanting the name, listening to the pastimes, and understand the qualities of of Krishna and his devotees. Similarly, we have got spiritual master. Spiritual master may sometimes depart from this material world, but again, spiritual master leaves so much knowledge to us, and we can still continue our Vani and Vapu Seva. When the Maharaj is there, then we can do Seva physically, but Maharaj is not there, following his instructions and his guidelines, and try to work in in tandem to his own goal. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yes, thank you so much. Yeah, right. Yeah, we have to rely on the protection of Krishna ultimately, because people who are protecting us, they are also vulnerable. That they also need protection. Then they are relying on protection of Krishna. So ultimately, he's the ultimate friend. He's the ultimate protector. He's the ultimate father. All the relationships are there, but they're temporary and they are also vulnerable. So if somebody who's not able to protect himself, how can he protect? But we have relationships that we honor, and the sentiment is there. The sentiment is there from our elders to protect us physically, mentally, and from other people. They are guides, so that's good. But ultimately, we remember that the ultimate protector and the guide is Krishna himself. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Kiran Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Do you want to ask Hina Mataji unless she has to leave?
I think we've got a bit of time.
Okay, no worries.
Unless you're going to have long.
No. I don't have many. I don't have long speeches. Hare Krishna, everybody. This is the week, the 7 days when Parikshit was ready to meet his divine maker, and we should be grateful that we're hearing the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam at this very auspicious time, because this is the time when the sages from the whole of the universe and different places assembled at Narmasharanya to listen to the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. You can see how deep this message is. This message is so deep that the separation that people are experiencing is so deep. It's only when we have that level of attachment to the Lord that we can have the depth of that emotional experience. We can have superficial engagement with associates, deities, the Bhagavatam, but it is superfluous. And we remember that Keshava Maharaj came recently, he said, how serious are you about this? This can't be casual. And Parikshit knew it, 7 days, I'm happy to go, but give me all the knowledge I need before I go and embrace the Lord. And hence, even those people who were assembled at Hastinapur were ready for that separation. They were just being separated from the divine temporarily. Krishna was going to Dwarka. But Parikshit knew he was going back home. And this is the journey that we all need to look into. If we continue to become entangled with the material world and Maya, we will be bereft of the opportunity of the detachment from this illusion. We need to continue to develop this enduring relationship with the Sankirtan movement, the deity worship, the association with each other, the daily association with the Bhagavatam and the Bhagavad-Gita. And it is like the melting of ice. We need to merge into that ocean, that river. That heart has to melt. That stone has to wither away and disintegrate into something which is permeating with the soul of the divine. That metal needs to melt. That gold bar needs to melt so it becomes a jewel that befits the presentation to the divine. We have to become mad with that association for the Lord. And these are the symptoms that the inhabitants of Hastinapur were exhibiting. They got the drums out, they got the mradangas out, they got all the paraphernalia, because when we see divinity, we worship it and we make music. And we do the same when divinity is leaving. We also should celebrate, as people were celebrating the departure of Parikshit. When somebody moves on, celebrate their life with grace and dignity. We need to have this feeling of complete attachment to Krishna and at the same time detachment to the material world, because the association with the devotees and with Krishna and Radharani is the only way out of here. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Yeah. So I mean, we got to be wanting Krishna as much as we want to take the next breath. I think there's like a pastime where a guru holds his disciple underwater until he can't breathe and he's like gasping for breath and brings him out. And the disciple says, "Well, why, Guruji, why did you do this to me?" He says, you asked me a question. I told you that as much as you wanted to breathe oxygen at that time, you felt like leaving your body. Otherwise, this is how much you should want Krishna, and then he will definitely come for you. So we don't even want half the time. We forget Krishna so easily. Do we really want him that badly as much as the next breath? When I take the next breath, we gasp for the next breath. Do we want him like that? Probably not. Thank you, Prabhu. Hina Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you so much. So many beautiful nuggets been discussed already. So, just enjoying the points that are being made, and thank you so much, everyone. I was just contemplating how fortunate we are that simply by chanting the Lord's name, we have his association. Even just reading Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam and attending these classes, we're in touch with him. And I was just contemplating how really I have no excuse. Really, I need to make much more endeavor, and we've already touched on that essentially. And the lovely example there about just how thinking about Krishna should come naturally as breathing, essentially. Myself, I have no excuses, and I have to make so much more endeavor to develop that connection. Essentially, everything's been laid out for us so nicely. The process is so simple. It's a lot of it is just the difficulty really is in the application, really that endeavor, that desire to want to do this, and to make to make more endeavor on this path, essentially. And that's within our grasp, that's for us to decide. We've just got to be more determined. I'm speaking for myself here. I need to be much more determined on this path. So thank you so much, Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mother. Yeah, I mean, Prabhupada, he repeats, there's so much repetition in his writing, and some people sometimes criticize that, why does he keep saying the same thing? But for our thick skulls, it's very, very necessary to keep reminding us, because we do forget very easily. We forget things. As soon as we leave this class, we will forget a lot of the stuff that we discussed. I have to write down what we discussed the day before, like that. It's very easy to forget. Although Srila Prabhupada repeats for the sake of context as well, but at the same time, it's a constant reminder, just keep knocking on that thick skull of ours, that sooner or later, something will drop into the brain, and we'll open our eyes. Yes, it's like this. Like our parents can keep telling us so many things again and again. It doesn't register, and but they say, I'm going to keep telling you, because one day I know it will register. Because you're not completely stupid. It will register. You're just not prepared to listen. It's just not sinking in right now. So parents, as like we were saying earlier, they feel they have a responsibility. So they keep guiding us. They keep telling us whether we want to listen or not, because they know one day when we mature enough, we will listen and we will take their advice. So it's like Prabhupada giving us advice, giving us advice, giving advice. Sooner or later, with purification, in this case, spirituality is about purification. As we keep reading, as we keep hearing, we are purifying. Each time, layers are coming off, purification is happening. And when we've purified enough, that same thing that we completely ignored, we didn't realize we even heard it, will make a big difference to us. Will probably change our behavior and our pattern, our process. So it's all about time, isn't it? It's about time. Time changes things for the better, also for the worse, devours everything, but it changes things for better as well. Thank you, Andaji. Okay, so Ajay Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
As for this particular verses, it's Maharaj saying, count your blessings, as in, I think a lot of us would probably heard that saying, or might be at least aware of it. So what does it mean to count your blessings? Well, association with devotees, association with pure devotees, these are your blessings. You need to take advantage of it. There has to be that urgency. You have to know that this is the importance of it. You see how the citizens of Hastinapur are reacting to Krishna's departure. They understand the importance of what's happening here. Even if they hadn't met him, they are appreciating that they are in the presence of the Lord. They are taking in the mercy. We need to do that. We need to take the mercy. We need to accept that this is what this life is meant for. It's not meant for mindless, mundane activities. It's not meant for foolishness. It's meant for service of the Lord. We're here to serve. We're not here. Unfortunately, many of us might think otherwise, but they have to suffer the consequences for that. But now that you realize what you're actually here for, then do what you need to do your job pretty much. Serve the Lord, serve the devotees, and everything else will take care of itself, because actually you'll start to remember the Lord. You'll think of the Lord whenever at all times. That is the process, and then you do that, and then everything falls into place, because when you relate everything to the Lord, then actually you'll do what is right, because the Lord will guide you. And that's all we need to do. We always wonder what's right and wrong. Well, just ask, Lord, please the Lord, and everything just fits into place. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thanks so much. Yeah, everything is laid out for us. We have given all the instructions. It's all there. All we need to just follow them. We don't need to invent any of our own plans and instructions, and go through all the scriptures and what should we do. It's all there. It's all the work is done for us through the Acharyas. Srila Prabhupada translated everything. It's there in black and white. We just got to take advantage of it. Thank you so much. Okay, Radharani.
Hare Krishna, everyone. My pranams to all of you. Yes, everything has been laid out. As Prabhupada also reminds us that I have given everything in my books to you, he says again and again. He even says that you don't even have to learn Sanskrit. I have given the meaning of word to word. So don't waste even your precious hours in learning Sanskrit, because Sanskrit is going to take like 10 years or even more, depending upon the person's abilities. And, when people get, sometimes they get entangled. Oh, let me hear this guru, that guru, from this sampradaya, that sampradaya. So what are they doing is actually they're making their time, they're wasting their time sometimes. What it is that every sampradaya has got affinity for something else. Like Sri Sampradaya has got affinity for only Srimati Radharani. And in our sampradaya, they say Radharani is topmost. She's the epitome of bhakti for us. But we say that she's like hidden. We don't just say Radha, Radha, Radha. We say Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So we say Radharani's names 8 times in our Mahamantra. And Rama and Krishna's come four times each. So everybody has got their method. There's a method to madness, like they say in the world. So we have to, stick to the one method. Put your feet in one boat. Don't just put your feet in this boat, that boat, and then you say, oh, I'm not steady, I'm falling down, I can't cross this ocean. How you will? So this is actually, reminder to ourselves that this is what we have been doing every time the creation was made. We all came here in the creation. We all did what we liked, what we disliked, and we all wasted enough of our lives. And now again, the time is ripe. The time has given us the bhakti again in our laps. It's up to us how we want to do it. It's just the laziness, isn't it? Being jivas, being the material energies of being the jivas of the Lord, we get so much, affected by the material energy the moment we come into this material world. But now we have realized that our soul is always happy, no matter what. We are just going through lives after lives. But this body is also very important. Although it gives us trouble, it asks us to enjoy ourselves. It asks us to, just lord it over everything around us, just have the best of everything. Now we have to remind ourselves every morning, like we do in the morning sadhana, in the classes, in the sanghas, that this body has got a higher purpose as well. And when we reunite the higher purpose of the Lord with the body, then everything becomes a bit easier. Some days are very easy, some days are difficult, but that's how it is. Even in the case of pure devotees, they also had bodies like us. It's not that they had some special bodies which were, immune to hot and cold, all the emotions. We see the people who were living around the Lord at that time in Hastinapur, they were affected. Women, they were crying. Ladies, they were crying, like when Lord was leaving for Dwarika. So emotions are there, but we have to dovetail our lethargy into serving for Lord. And our emotions also, they have to be dovetailed. Our everything in our being, from head to toe, whatever God has given us, whether in this incapable or not perfect body is never perfect. Every moment is changing. Every moment we are getting old. And yesterday who were little kids now become youth. And we can also say for ourselves, oh, a few years ago we were like this, now we become that. And that's the way it is, because we have to go through this journey to go to the Lord. That this is how the body has been designed. That it's not going to stay the perfect as you were born. Well, we say perfect, it's never perfect, but comparatively it was better than what it is now. But it has been given to us for a higher purpose. We're not just come here to just enjoy the chappan bhog like we offer to the Lord on festivals. We only take a prasad of it. Otherwise, we hear devotees also getting diabetes, this disease, that disease, because nobody is immune. You have to look after yourself, you look after your thoughts, you look after your actions. Then your behavior is going to be, revealing, showing what kind of stage you are in. Like sometimes we say, oh, this person is not behaving like their age. Why? Because they're not in tune with everything. They just get, you know, carried away with the emotions or time or everything. So as we are doing the bhakti, as we are progressing in our matureness of our bhakti, matureness in the sense that how many years we have been in a bhakti, it should reflect in our how we conduct ourselves, how we are going to, how are we able to, you know, give something of what we have learned to others. So this is all, it's all God's design for all of us in our bhakti. This is how the bhakti carries on. So yeah, lots of lessons going on in this chapter, and yes, we have to continue, and regardless of whatever our situation, and you know, regardless of the weather, regardless of the regardless of how much we can intake, how much we can retain, we have to try, because that is only in our hands. That free will is only been given to us. That is, it's not that what I am doing is Narayan Keshava Prabhu is going to do for me, or Acharya is going to do for me. It's not going to happen like that. I have to take the oars of my boat in my hand. That's how we are. God is going to provide us everything. He's giving us the boat. He's giving us the ultimate person who is guiding the GP system. That is our spiritual master, whether it's from inside as Paramatma or as God, or it's outside as a spiritual master. So let's make most of what we have been given, and stop complaining. This is what excuse me, this is our problem is, whenever a little trouble comes, and we are very quick to say that, oh, I can't do my rounds perfectly today, Krishna, so please excuse me. Instead of saying that, okay, I'm going to try my best, we try to use a negative language for ourselves, and this is how we demotivate ourselves. We don't need anybody to demotivate in our lives. We are enough to demotivate ourselves. This is what I have experienced in life. So let's pray that the association of the pure devotees of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam stays with us throughout the life, and we are able to learn something every day, and please Krishna and Srimati Radharani and the pure devotees of the Lord in our endeavor. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, exactly. The endeavor is our own. We cannot take points, spiritual points from somebody else. It has to be our own endeavor, our own practice. That's what we will benefit from. You know, if you want a spiritual account, it's not like an ordinary account that, you know, we can ask someone to transfer funds into our account. This one, I think we have to earn them ourselves and build that account, and let's build them together, you know, help each other. And it's a good point that one good way to accumulate account is by passing on this information and sharing that knowledge with others, like we are doing. You know, we have in this realization, we are sharing our knowledge, our realizations with each other. That is also a way to advance.
And that is what Krishna wants from every.
Yeah, he definitely
everyone,
wants that.
Each one of his.
Yeah, not only
jiva.
help ourselves, we help others as well, for sure. Thank you all so much. Thank you for your input. Kantraj, Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Pura Premanande,
Hari
Hari
Hari.
Bol.
Hare
Thank
Bol.
you.
Hare Krishna.
Have a nice day. Have a Krishna conscious full day.
Hare Krishna.
Ekadashi. Hare Krishna.
Happy
Hare
Ekadashi as well.
Ekadashi.
Happy Ekadashi.